Estos problemas de sobreexplotación en la naturaleza no son nuevos. Muchos expertos han analizado nuestros recursos de manera global y han predicho que habrá problemas. Una persona, Garrett Hardin, escribió una parábola acerca de esto en 1968. Él habló de un área común de tierra que nadie poseía, pero que todos en Parish usaban. En su historia había 10 aldeanos, cada uno tenía una vaca en la comuna. Esto era igual a la capacidad natural de la tierra. Un día, una aldeana decidió aumentar el número de vacas que tenía, de 1 a 2. Matemáticamente, se podría expresar su ganancia de tierra como 1/10. Con su vaca extra, su parte aumentó a 2/11. Como 2/11 es mayor a 1/10, ella ganaría. Pero los otros habían tenido una pérdida, de 1/10 a 1/11. Un vecino vio que fue una buena idea y decidió imitarla. La ganancia de ella fue de 1/11 a 2/12. Los otros aldeanos perdieron al bajar a 1/12. ¿Puede ver un patrón? Pronto, los otros empezaron a notar sus pérdidas. Ellos también tuvieron que incrementar el número de vacas, pero la tierra no podía continuar con esta carga. El pasto no crecía y todas las vacas murieron. Por tomar decisiones a corto plazo para maximizar sus ganancias, los aldeanos ignoraron los efectos a largo plazo.
To explain carrying capacity, you created an analogy of the tragedy of the Commons.
Yes.
Could you explain that for us?
The tragedy of the Commons is concerned with the problem of allocation of resources. For religious reasons, many people want to adopt a motto like the one that Karl Marx expressed, from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs. In other words, the mere fact that you exist entitles you to your share of whatever there is that's around. Now, no other species of animal operates by this principle, and to think that human beings can do so safely is a very radical idea, and biologists don't think that they can. And as a matter of fact, the experiments that have been tried among human beings have shown that it doesn't work. For example, when you have a common pasture land and anybody who wants to can pasture his cattle on it, this works as long as there aren't many people. But as soon as there are many people, meaning many animals to be pastured, it turns out that people will put too many animals on the pasture, and if they're completely free to do what they want to, and finally you have to do either one of two things. Either you divide the pasture up into many different pieces of private property, and each person's responsible for his own, or you say, we'll manage this as a group, we'll appoint a manager, we'll pay him to manage this, and he will tell us how many cattle we can put on the land, and we have to do as he says. So it's either socialism or private property. Either one of those may work, but the unmanaged commons cannot possibly work once the population gets above a certain size.
What happens when we run out of resources? The earth, if you compare it to a lifeboat, only has so many resources, can only take care of so many people.
Well, we don't exactly run out of them. The allocation per person per year becomes less, and we just have to tighten our belts and live on less. And as long as we can live, I suppose we will tighten our belts and complain about it, but we can't expect to be infinitely rich and infinitely numerous at the same time.
How many people can this planet take care of at the standard of living that Americans enjoy today?
The standard of living that Americans enjoy today cannot possibly hold for the entire present population of the earth. That is, 5 billion people living on the American standard of living would produce so much pollution. The greenhouse effect would escalate so rapidly, and many other things would change for the worse so fast we couldn't possibly do it. So the world cannot possibly live at the American standard of living at its present population size. That means either the number of people have to be reduced, and or the American standard of living has to go down.